So we are back in career mode with the Arctic Pack, which includes two new scenarios. The first of which we are gonna discuss today. Like the description suggests, this zoo is located somewhere in a Norwegian village, and we are tasked with making it a small zoo. Now, all four of the Arctic animals in the Arctic Pack, the Dall sheep, the reindeer, the Arctic fox, and the polar bears, all four of them will be given to you as a reward. So, for the bronze, you have to place 10 reindeer. 10 reindeer will be given to you as rewards for free. You only need to build a suitable habitat for them, and that's it. Place them and then have your vets researching both the Dall sheep and the reindeer. Now, if you are wondering why I have changed the barrier stuff for the Dall sheep, it's because the barbed wire thingies, they easily break through it, and yeah, you have to spend a lot of time just repairing it. Anyway, so 10 reindeer, and you immediately begin research on them. So you have to get the research to level 2. The overall welfare to 80 means you have to put down enrichments and other stuff. Thankfully, they don't require any terrain or plant modifications, so you're good there. Just make sure that you put down enough food and water stations, because 10 reindeer, and if they produce offspring, which are cute as hell by the way, just make sure that there's enough feeding and water stations around for them. Same for the Dall sheep, though you won't have a problem with that. Much of a problem, I guess. Anyway, that's the two animals done. And obviously put education boards near them. You already have one for the Dall sheep, but you don't have an education speaker. So put down that, and put down the same for the reindeer. Now for the third animal, I would suggest timber wolves or bison. I put down bison because they were being a bit cheap on that. Yeah. So, once you put down bison, you have to put the research too in that. So you get all the enrichments and other stuff. That's it for bronze, I guess. Zoo rating to 1.5 stars is easily done when you research the Dall sheep and the reindeer and the bison for enough levels. Now, for me, I researched them to gold, so yeah. This scenario is not that tough. You just have to put down education boards and other stuff. And of course, donation boxes. That's it, I guess. Now for silver, they will give you Arctic wolves. Now these require a bit of space, so yeah. Just make sure you put the staff buildings away from the guest walkways, so yeah. Arctic Wolf overall welfare to 80% is a bit challenging because, see, this three things you researched right now, the doll sheep, the reindeer, and the bison, all of them are herbivores. So you might need a fourth vet or a second vet, depends on the number of vets you have put already, for the Arctic wolves. You have to research them to level 3. That's when the enrichments will be available. And increase the education rating to 2.5 stars. Have at least 6 habitat species in the zoo. Now that is easily done because the next thing you will be doing is the timber wolves. Now the Arctic wolves and the timber wolves, they both share enrichment, so you don't have to actually research them to the max, but doing that always helps because of the education rating in the silver. Also put down the education boards and speakers on every habitat. Next thing you'll be doing is this, the grizzly bears. Now you might need to spend some cash in your storage for grizzly bears, or you could just buy them. See, Himalayan brown bears are for conservation guides. Anyway, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6th animal done. The Himalayan brown bears. And that's you done with the silver, I guess. Now, for breeding, you just have to fast forward the game a bit. Don't worry, most of them will not die. Maybe the reindeers will kick the bucket, a couple of them at least. But since you have 10 of them, you don't need to worry about that. Just make sure that the male survives, because there's 1 male and 9 females for the reindeer. Yeah. So you need about 3 different habitat animals to breed. For me, the doll sheep bred, the reindeer bred, and the bison bred. So yeah, there was that. Once you're done with silver, you don't need to worry because you have both the timber wolves and the Arctic wolves, and they breed like anything. Look at the litter, it's about 3 of them, I guess. Same for the Arctic wolves. Now once you reach gold, that's when things get a bit tough, because now you have to place polar bears, and Bernie already warns us that they require a lot, I mean a lot of space. This is the habitat for the polar bears that I made. Can you even spot them? No, right? They are somewhere around here. And even then, their water needs are not properly taken care of, I guess. Anyway, you need a huge ass body of water because it is required. They need a little swimmable area and the sufficient enrichments, I mean. A hard shelter and not many plants. The ones that require plants are the grizzlies. Now the fun thing is you can actually put these decorated pine trees or spruce trees in here. So when it's night, you actually get a bit of light in the habitat. It looks very pretty. Because once it's night, this part right here, this circle thing, it looks damn gorgeous. Now, getting back to the requirements, polar bear level 2, polar bear to level 5, you have to research that. Okay, that is pretty self-explanatory. Overall welfare 290. Once you have the swimming and the land requirements spaced out, you should be good, along with the enrichments, that is. Now, next thing is 5 hybrid species to level 3. Now, if you have been researching the Dall sheep, the reindeer, and the bison or the Arctic wolves, you should be good by now. That's this thing done. Release any 6 species to the wild. Now, you could release 2 of the Dall sheep, a male and a female. At this point, they should have been matured by now. You could release 2 of the Dall sheep to the wild, a reindeer perhaps, a male one, that is, because, yeah, 2 male reindeers means they will fight for alpha status. Same for bison. And if the Arctic wolves or the timber wolves are matured, then them too. Don't even go for the grizzlies. Their cubs take a lot of time to mature. That's it. You should be good with releasing the habitat species. Now for 6 habitat animals. It doesn't need to be different species, so that is why the timber wolves are your best bet. 3 of them in a litter. So yeah. That's it. And 8 habitat species means this polar bear habitat is just 7th habitat. So the 8th one is, where are the snow leopards? This. The snow leopards. Now you could buy other stuff like Himalayan brown bear or I don't know. There's not many animals. You could buy Siberian tigers too, but Himalayan brown bears or Siberian tigers are both pretty expensive. That's it. And by this point, you should have about 1,400 guests in the zoo. Easily. Because the polar bears increase your overall appeal by nearly 1 whole star. If it doesn't help, then there's always marketing. Choose this middle ads. You can have 3 active campaigns in this scenario, so just go ham in the costliest ones, the 5k ones. That's it. That's it for this scenario. It's pretty easy. You don't need to stress out too much on this one. Just take a while to appreciate the young ones because they are too damn cute. Look at the baby reindeer. Or the baby Dall sheep. Look at them. Or the wolf cubs, the Arctic wolf cubs. And finally, the polar bear cubs, which I cannot find because they are too well camouflaged in the snow. There it is, with its mama, I guess. Yep, that's mom. Look at that little ball of fur, guys. Makes all this DLC worth it, even with all the bugs they introduced. Yeah, franchise mode is a mess right now because of the bugs. And the new thing they introduced in the free update is this heat map, the security and crime. Alright, that's it for this scenario. So in the next scenario we might be going to Mexico, I don't know. It was specified in the description of the DLC that one of the maps is Norway and the other is Mexico, so yeah. So hope this helped you guys with your own scenario problems if you have purchased the DLC, and I do recommend purchasing it. Not sponsoring it or anything, it's just my personal recommendation because it is a good DLC and you get a lot of items to, you know, make your own Arctic franchise zoo. So yeah, that's it guys. Keep liking, sharing and subscribing, and if you have any queries, comment down in the section below and I'll try my best to help you. Take care guys.